Hey, what's up, YouTube? Thanks for tuning in. This is Coach Max with Bounty Hunter Basketball. Today we are looking at the 1-3-1 zone defense. Why would you use it? Why does it give offenses such a hard time? What are its weaknesses? And does your team have the personnel to pull it off? Well, you're going to find out right now. The 1-3-1 is a fast paced, aggressive zone defense with one thing in mind, and that is force the turnover by applying pressure as soon as that ball comes across half court, or even sooner, depending on just how aggressive you want to be. But running this defense isn't for everybody. Your players are going to have to be in shape, and having some height on your team is definitely going to help too, because you might be lacking in the rebound department when it comes to this setup. Let's take a closer look. At the top of the zone in 3-point land, you've got your chaser, and that's exactly what they do. As soon as the ball crosses half court, or even sooner if that's your bag, but their job is to chase the ball handler to either side of the court, preferably forcing them to use their weak hand. You've got two wing defenders who are responsible for trapping the wing position when the ball comes to their side. You've got a middle defender who's responsible for locking down that foul line. And then you've got your tail who's responsible for covering both baseline corners. As you can see from these coverage areas, the chaser and the tail have quite a bit of real estate that they need to cover, hence the athleticism that's required in order to run this defense in the first place. You can also see where the vulnerable areas are. That's going to be the corners and the low post. But you see, what makes this defense unique is that it's designed to play the passing lanes. So if you've got some height on your team, you're creating a bit of a wall, so to speak, that requires passes to be high and slow in order to get down there in the first place. So if you're playing against a team that has a weak passing game, you'll eat them alive with this defense. Now let's take a look at the defensive movements as the chaser forces one of these guards to the right side of the court. The strong side wing is going to step up the trap, but your middle player has got a very important job because they need to be in a full denial stance, not letting anything into the high post. But at the same time, they must be reading the ball handler's body language to see if their intention is to swing the ball back to the other side of the court. Because if so, they're set up nice for an interception. Meanwhile, your weak side wing player drops down to the weak block to prevent any backdoor action, and your tail is positioning themselves on the strong side block just in case that ball makes it to the corner. They've got an easy closeout. But let's say the ball is successfully swung to the other side of the court. That means your wing player that had dropped down to the block has got to hightail it back up there to the wing, and your chaser needs to sprint back to the other side in order to complete the trap. On the other side, tail drops down to the low post to prevent any backdoor action, but your tail this time needs to get all the way over to the other short corner because it's likely that the ball is going to be swung all the way around to the corner for an open three. Now, if that ball makes it to the corner, well, of course, our tail is going to have to close out on them, but our middle defender is going to have to drop down to replace them at the block. And our chaser is going to be covering the high post at that point. Now, if that ball somehow makes it into the low post, our tail is going to have to come back and collapse on that along with the middle defender for a double team, and at the same time contesting the pass back out to the corner. If the pass happens to make it into the high post, then it's the chaser that's going to have to collapse for a double team with our middle defender, and at the same time contesting a passing lane to at least one of those point guards. And that is it for the 1-3-1 zone defense, ladies and gentlemen. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button. That'll help us out tremendously. And if you happen to run a successful 1-3-1 defense, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. And if you'd like to see more tips, tricks, how-tos, and even bounty hunter in-game footage, feel free to subscribe, and we will see you next time.